Good morning and welcome to Power 102 Digital. This is the 6 a.m. news on this, the 30th day of October. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council gave a judgment Tuesday in which it upheld the unanimous decision of the Court of Appeal of Trinidad and Tobago and the decision given by the High Court in favor of Junior Sammy Contractors Limited against the Estate Management and Business Development Company Limited. EMBD entered into a contract on February 4th, 2015 with Junior Sammy Contractors Limited to carry out residential infrastructure works for $231,235,125.36 at Carney Savannah Residential Development Phase B. The contractor carried out the works between February 4th and August 17th in 2015. Former Attorney General Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, who is representing the contractor, claims this is an important judgment as it vindicates the character and reputation of the contractor. Foreign exchange from Exim Bank has never been allocated to import vehicles new or used, nor is it distributed for the importation of luxury items or non-essential, such as fireworks. The Ministry of Finance gave this response as it gave its side of the story to what is described as mischievous, yet another series of misleading and inaccurate stories against access to foreign exchange by a daily newspaper. It says Forex from the XM Bank has only ever been allocated for importing essential goods such as basic food and medicine during the COVID-19 period, and principally for inputs into manufacturing such as raw materials and equipment. Meanwhile, the Finance Ministry explains it is a matter of record. Wholesale importers were aware the Forex window for essential imports was temporary. They were also informed in August of 2024 this year, before Budget 2025 was delivered. The Forex facility was under review and would be amended to return the program to its original intent and purpose. It is unfortunate some wholesale importers sought to make purchases without ensuring their source of funds, thus creating problems for themselves. The Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development in the THA says it will implement enhanced training to strengthen the working relationship between Reef Patrol officers and the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. The training will be reinforced protocols for joint operations and proper documentation procedures. It gave the update as division acknowledged public concern regarding a social media video featuring a joint patrol operation between the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and the Development of Marine Resources and Fisheries Reef Patrol Unit. The video in question shows 2 Coast Guard officers and 2 Reef Patrol officers in uniform as they return to port at the end of their joint patrol duties. Although the patrol itself had concluded and the vessel was en route to disembarkation, the division acknowledged the unauthorized recording and sharing of operational activities even at this time was inappropriate and does not align with our professional standards. The police service put at over 8,000 the amount of participants who celebrated a safe, successful Tobago Carnival 2024. It says this significant achievement would not have been possible without the outstanding leadership of DCP Suzette Martin and the Incident Command team, whose vision, strategic planning, and astute execution of this plan were critical elements of their success. CARICOM says it is deeply concerned by the ongoing differences being played out in public between the President of the Transitional Presidential Council, Leslie Voltaire, and Haiti Prime Minister Gary Conille. CARICOM says unseemly and distracted conflict is taking place at a time when the insecurity and humanitarian crisis are deteriorating gravely. Caribbean News Desk is following this story. And finally, the Britain Chancellor Rachel Reeves says minimum wage will rise in April with hourly rates for over 21 set to go up from £21 set to go up to 12.21 an hour. Okay. And ahead of Wednesday's budget. Reeves says the pay boost marked a significant step towards achieving Labour promise of a genuine living wage for workers. Employees aged 18 to 20 and apprentices will also see their minimum hourly pay increase. The government said more than 3 million workers will benefit, but firms have warned the higher costs could mean they have to cut back on hiring. And that's your news to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 Digital. The Power Breakfast Show starts now. All right, good morning. Of course, that was my evil twin giving you the news a little while ago. Well, less than a minute ago. And thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on this, the 30th day of October. It is the eve of Diwali, food, and more food. I am not complaining. After Christmas, it's Diwali for sure. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show. On the show this morning, Paul is off. But Wendell, Stephen will be in, and of course, Richard Ragoobarsingh. We got Ruben and Shane in the mix. Of course, my name is Steve Khan. It's a cool morning this morning. Yep, 24 degrees on both islands. Yep, 24 degrees on both islands. I felt as I came out of the house this morning. I said, woo, it's a nice, cool day. Has the Met Office updated their weather for today? No, they have not. But they said yesterday that it's going to be generally hot and sunny with the likelihood of a few afternoon showers favoring Western Trinidad. All right. That's what they said. Traffic-wise, let's see what we got. Freeport to Sugarguanas. After that, it's just a congestion, a little lighter than usual this morning, heading into Port of Spain. I'm sure a lot of people took Friday off. Should I take Friday off? Should I? And get up late. That's the thing when you wake up at 3:30 every morning. Get up late. I mean, get up late is like 7 o'clock. All right, let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning. Let us start out with Facebook and YouTube. First off, the David Wares at 2:10 in the morning. You don't sleep? Good morning, Mrs. Wares. Wendy and James, Wayne Bennett in Covenant, Georgia. Maria Celia, Marcia Rock out in Orlando. DJ Ray also out in Orlando. Carol Guevara, yes, it's Hump Day Wednesday. Ewart Rajpal, good morning. Slick Money Grip, Michael Gradison, Biznat Basad, Mo Gaines, Ingrid Adams, Rena Budu Jennings. Woohoo, good morning. Thank you, Rena. Shuma Wilson. Hey, Shum. Hope all is well with you. I haven't seen you in so long. Wendell, when last I saw Shuma?
I think I would have seen her for Emancipation.
Shumi, you're a stranger to us. Why? God Silly out of Valencia. Nasser Mohammed. Mo Gaines out in Aruca. Jenny Fano, good morning. King of Doubles Khan. Yes, I picked up some doubles this morning on the way. I go by Ali's on 5th Street, Baratari. I call, I say, Mr. Ali, I would like so-and-so. And he said, no problem. I just run in. 20 seconds after, I'm back in my car. Alana Simmons, good morning to you as well. And I didn't pull up WhatsApp. Why didn't I pull up WhatsApp on my phone, on the computer? All right, I'll do that now. So good morning to you, Wendell.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. Did you say Paul is off today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul is jumping on an airplane.
Oh, he didn't even send me a message. That's very unlike him.
Well, I don't know. I have.
Anyway, safe
Yeah,
travels.
he's
Safe
traveling this
travels.
morning.
Yeah, safe travels. It's a good
Safe
weekend to
travel.
travel.
It is a
I
good
I,
weekend to
I
travel.
actually thought of going, but I have
Yeah,
some
I
other
thought you would
things.
have gone to Yemen.
Yeah, well, actually, that's where I really should be going, because I
Hmm.
have a situation to go and deal with.
Oh
But
no, oh,
anyway,
a good situation though.
yeah, it'll get better. Let
Okay.
me say happy birthday to one of our ardent listeners, Katian Townsend. Happy birthday, Katian. Today is also the birthday of Iola Samaru, David Peters, Anthony Tom, aka Storming Tom.
Hey, hey,
Today is his
Tommy
birthday.
boy,
Yeah. Junior
what's happening?
Peters.
Long time, Tom. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Well, he'll tell you the same thing too, eh?
Yeah,
you know, you know,
I haven't seen him in a long, long time.
you know that a running joke that people who are visually impaired do. Hey, long time I ain't see you.
Yeah.
Letter
It is.
Carnival is also celebrating a birthday. Roxanne Palmis and Lisa Durity Molino. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa is a band leader, children's band leader, very
Okay.
successful children's band leader in Woodbrook.
Hmm.
Today is her birthday. All right.
Yeah. Today is also Sarah Maynard's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sarah is involved with Animal Welfare Network and also TTS whenever I have a problem with people finding pets and get lost or stuff like that, the first person I call is Sarah. So happy birthday to you, Sarah. Wish you all the best. An avid animal lover.
Mm-hmm.
She puts out videos of what's going on at TTS and and if you're looking to get a pet, please adopt. There's so many animals out there looking for forever homes. And that is why we do not sell pets at the pet butler. We sell no birds, no fishes, no cats, no dogs. If you want a dog, we make a link if you want a special breed, but we do not sell. Plus, I cannot leave the store at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon to come back in at 9 o'clock in the morning with nobody. If they throw their water down, they're thirsty for the whole night. No, I cannot do that. I have a conscience, and I would not leave them in a little cage. People like to put them in a little cage and say, "Okay, fine." No,
Yeah, that's
it
that's that's a
is.
that's a noble thought because I didn't think of it before.
Mm-hmm,
That animals really are on their own, locked up in
mm-hmm,
a pet store
mm-hmm,
overnight. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's I didn't
There's
think of it before actually.
there's a house in San Juan, and it pains me every time. Is that road by Unipet on Elscore Road, but close to the Quasi? You go down that road.
Mm.
Someone has a cat on a collar tied with a dog chain, and it's been like that for months. It pains me every time I pass.
Mm. A cat
Within my
with a
a
dog
cat
chain.
with a dog chain in front.
I don't even like to see a dog with a dog chain.
Yeah, my parents and we grew up with dogs not being on a chain. Their kennel is, it's got room. It's very well ventilated, and it actually has no roof. The roof is the roof of the garage. So, but it's huge.
But I still trying to. Why would somebody have a cat on with a
I
dog chain?
don't know.
Oh
And the
boy.
only reason I found out is that a few people actually said they passed on this road and they saw this cat chained, and I went and when I was going home and I passed there and I saw it and it pained me.
Hmm.
I mean, since Empress passed, I do not have the heart to get another dog. So I have cats, but all these cats that when Empress was alive, I still used to feed outside. I just brought them in for Diwali and for All Year's Night because of the fireworks and the noise. But it's amazing. They each have their own personality. So one has a little kidney issue. So when I wake up in the morning, make sure she eats and gets some medicine and so on. But I know you have no animals, no pets, apart from
I
your
have
fishes, which have an
fishes and
automatic feeder
turtles.
now.
Fishes
Fishes
and
and turtles.
turtles.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. You need any more
That's
turtles?
if
You want another turtle? You want two?
yeah, of course, because
Really?
I intend to build a bigger enclosure for them.
Okay, I'll find out. I know someone that was looking for, they're not too small, they're a little bigger.
That's all right.
But I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
I'll find out. I'll send a WhatsApp shortly to them.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, good
you
morning
know, I'm
to
a huge animal lover.
Jenny Fano. I suspect you're new, either new or somebody who changed your name, because that's not a name I've ever seen before.
Who?
Whoever Jenny Fano is.
I don't know who that is.
And good morning, Shoma, of course. Good morning.
Michael Gradison, Michael Robinson, Rapid Fire. Good morning to you all.
Yeah, I have a little story to give, right? So
I just want to tell folks this morning, after the 7 o'clock major news, our guest will be Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan. And we'll get down to the bottom of it, really to deal with these license plate things. Okay, so they put out something. So we'll get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. So yesterday I had traffic court.
Is that the ticket you got outside?
Yes, for the ticket that I contested.
Not the one in the bus route?
Yeah, that's him one.
Oh, that one. Okay.
The one that I contested, where the police officer alleged I broke a traffic light. Mm-hmm. And then when he finally gave me the ticket, he gave me the ticket with another traffic light address. So I challenged it because, one, I didn't break the traffic light, and two, the address on the ticket is completely wrong.
And you had the video from your dash cam, right?
Yeah, that was the day with Richard. Richard and I will go into this.
He's a jinx. He's a jinx.
So Richard would actually have been my witness. Anyway, the matter came up yesterday. My attorney wasn't present, and the police officer wasn't present either. I feel sorry for magistrates, because magistrates have to deal with these kind of situations on a daily basis with police officers, and this is where I'm going with this, police officers who are given tickets and not coming to court. Not coming to court. So the magistrate yesterday had cause to dismiss a couple matters because it's been going on for too long. You understand? And also police officers who are given tickets it's almost like vindictiveness and spite. So I'll tell you about a ticket that a man got. A man reported, and it so happens because I was in this virtual hearing, and I sat there for more than an hour because I didn't know my attorney was coming on or not. My matter didn't call till very late. So I got the opportunity to listen to all these other matters. And one of them was about a man who drove children to school in high-risk areas. So he had a specific pass that the PTSC gave him to use the bus route between 7 and 8 in the morning and between 2 and 2:30 in the afternoon, so that the children don't pass through any zones where, at least that's what he's reporting to the magistrate, right? The magistrate gave him a chance to report, to explain why he's contesting this ticket or why he shouldn't pay this ticket. And he said he's been doing it for over 5 years, employed through the Ministry of Education, and he showed his pass from the PTSC that allowed him. And he said this policewoman, he was starting to explain why he think he get the ticket, and the magistrate had to stop him. Gave him a ticket after 5 years of doing this thing without problems. So, she said, well, I have to you have to bring some more information for me. But it just sounded like, and if I interpret the guy, it was like a spiteful thing then, because he said the policewoman just all of a sudden after 5 years decided she giving him a ticket after he did that successfully. That was one. Another incident was a guy who had a broken headlight, and he was contesting it. But when I hear the case of these matters, when I hear how these matters going for trial in 2026, I intervened. I asked the magistrate if I can speak, and she allowed me to speak. I said, listen, I'm withdrawing I don't want to contest no ticket again. Just allow me to pay it. I will pay it because I don't want to be coming to court for the next 2 years in a matter that the police may not even be showing up because he didn't come yesterday, and I just be going back and forth again over a ticket. I say I don't need it. I don't need the stress. And she said, no problem. And she said, okay, just pay the original cost of the ticket and end that story right there. And I was so thankful. Because yesterday I just couldn't take the stress no more. You understand? And I say, something, Wendell, this ain't worth it. And especially if I had to call Richard as a witness, in my matter. Richard don't need that stress either.
Yeah.
You understand?
I,
So
I don't know why it is.
Mhm.
So you said you didn't break the light. You
No, I
have,
didn't.
I know you have a nice fancy dash cam, which I really
Yeah.
want to get one day.
Mhm.
I have a dash cam on my car that I bought long time ago. And it still works very well because they sell dash cams. Um, Anybody can buy a dash cam. They have them real cheap. Problem is the battery. You see, when that midday sun hits on your car in that sun,
Mhm.
battery does not last.
Mhm.
And I learned that from experience. So I bought one. It was I actually bought it in Walmart, and it was rolled back from $99 to $35. So I bought two. So the other car has one as well. But why is it that police officers don't use their discretion?
Because some of them can't. They're
Why
incapable
it
of,
is
and they're
that a
spiteful.
parking ticket you have to get demerit points for? Ridiculous. Why is it we have to spend $1,000 or $2,000?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
and then
crazy.
you don't pay it, and 5 police cars pull up by your house for a traffic ticket.
Hmm. I know. I have a friend. He works on another radio station. They woke him up 4 o'clock in the morning because of a warrant over from a ticket. You know, they
Yeah,
raided his home 4 o'clock in the morning and arrested him. You know, for a ticket. You know, he
yeah.
works on another radio station. Very popular. That's how he was. He was
And
arrested for not paying a ticket 4 o'clock in the morning. You know?
right, and you see this when you buy a car, you pay a one-off fee of some licensing fee, right? Whatever you call it. Remember, a long time they used to have the little stickers. I wasn't born yet, but I just heard a round thing you put up by your windshield or something like that, and every year have to go. Why don't they? If they're going to implement that the license plates belong to the owner, we do like the North American system where, for example, my birthday is October. They have October and they put 25 on it. So you know that on your birthday, your license tag expires. You get a ticket before that, there's no way you'll be able to get your license sticker for your license plate if you do not pay your parking tickets.
Mm.
You know, you have to clear it off before you get that. Police driving behind a car, it is December 2024, but he's driving behind a car where it has October 24. He will know that expired. They will now pull him over and tell him you have expired tags.
Well, hopefully that's the direction they're going in.
Well, how long will it take?
Well, Michael Grandison, and it would have been, my matter probably would have been dismissed eventually, you know. But guess what? I'd have been having to go to court every 2-3 months,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want it.
And pull Richard with him.
Yeah, I just didn't need it, and I just decided yesterday, as I say, especially as my attorney was absent, I got the opportunity to speak, because once you have an attorney, you don't get to speak. You understand?
And another thing they should do is that police officers that do not show up for their case should be fined out of their pocket.
And they pay nothing. They pay no price. The prosecutor yesterday
because
was
now
at
they're
pains.
wasting the government's time.
The prosecutor,
taxpayers' time.
The court prosecutor yesterday was at pains to be telling the magistrate all the time, no, the virtual complainant is not here. He's absent. She's absent. The police not turning up in court.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, man.
I have a friend of mine, I won't say son or daughter, applied to be in the police service. Let me tell you, Wendell, it's been months. Months. I think he did the polygraph test recently. But before that, it was to go to another station, and they had to do the written test. Of course, we all know what happened there with the bacchanal and the test, something with the computers, they had to reschedule it. But it takes so long. And why is it that everything in Trinidad and Tobago takes so long? The Coast Guard boat that they say, they sent out a release, you know. that it basically saying that it is unauthorized video. But you have patrolmen on a Coast Guard boat with every single man on their phone.
You know, I have a different view of that video, right? Because I saw it, and the video literally is about 10 seconds long, if so much, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that I could judge that situation that I saw in that 10 minutes of
10 seconds.
And it's clearly one of the crew betrayed them, because why would you do a video like that and share it? If you all out on a patrol together, why would a crew member in the Coast Guard do a video like that is all of 10 seconds long and share it, giving the impression that they're lazing around and they're careless and what? Why would you do that? I got upset when I saw that. You know? Yes, they may have been, I don't know. And again, you can't judge the video because you don't know for how long that situation went on. You understand? Mm-hmm. But to share a video like that, and you had to be part of the crew to do a video like that.
You have to be part of the crew.
You understand? And share it. Why? He must be getting so much culprit.
You know, Ruben has that video, if we could put it up.
Ruben has it?
Well,
I didn't understand why they would do that. Why somebody would
I don't know how to do that from my meeting. If I knew how to do it, maybe Ruben will show me.
Morning, Mrs. R. Morning, Michael Grandison. Morning, Lisa Marie Mohammed. Morning, Rapid Fire Entertainment. DL, good morning. Richard, you know, I told you that story of that day when I got that ticket, right? I told you before, a few months before, those same police officers profiled me and pulled me over, asking me if I had a PBR pass. Anyway, so because I say, I think they have a problem with me. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know if it's the vehicle or what. But anyway, I was pointing them out to Richard the day when we were driving on the bus route. And I said, Richard, look, these same officers I tell you about. And as I passed them, I continued down the road. And as I am exiting the bus route, they pull me over all the way down by South Key there and tell me I broke the light back there. I said, broke? I said, no, I did not break any light. You understand? License and they make me park up in the middle of South Key there for a while and then told me to go around the corner. So Richard is we wondering what's going on because we're not seeing them. The outer sight, the outer earshot. And then he comes back with this ticket. I didn't even read the ticket today. It's after I read the ticket, I realized, but wait, he tell me I break the light back there, but he put it as if I break the light by Mirage Jewelers. I say he had to be a kind of, you know, I don't like to use the word idiot and imps, right? But I say he had to be a kind of, I'll use Arnold word, skunks to write a wrong address on this ticket. You understand? So I challenge it, but as I say, I don't need this stress. I don't need this stress. Richard don't need this stress. And certainly the court don't need this stress. I pay the ticket. Thankfully, the magistrate didn't increase it. She just said pay what it is, pay what it was. Yeah. But since what? That's a while now. I have that ticket. Since earlier this year.
A while. Look, Robin Antigua is saying the tax system is in use in Barbados. Exactly how I explained it. No special number plate is needed. It's just a sticker that is difficult to remove. Yeah. He says Rob says you get it from insurance companies, so they do the checks to reduce your liability. All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. After I said it, DJ Ray, I said DJ Ray's in Orlando, but it's really Tampa. Sorry about that. Someone says, good morning, guys. Good morning to it's budget day in the UK. Okay. There you go. Good morning,
you're not hearing much about that new prime minister since he has been elected, Starmer.
Yeah.
You've not heard much about him at all. He's managed to keep out of the limelight.
Yeah. Good morning, Rasta. We have some WhatsApp. I'm slowly going through WhatsApp. David Nelson, good morning. Big E in Virginia, good morning. Dan Raj, GNC Auto Security. Anthony in Toronto. Yeah. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for lockdown. And good morning to all those on M and E TV watching us on TV. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Bernadette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andre, plenty of officers doing the same thing. They're being spiteful and vindictive to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I say, look at that video that we showed here on the Power Breakfast show. It went viral on the news one night, where
Mm-hmm.
this police officer pulled over someone. I think is heading towards the lighthouse there, and told him to go ahead. And then right after that, the next one pulled him over and said his headlight was out, even though he is showing you in the video his headlights were working, and gave him a ticket. What do you do in a circumstance like a police just spitefully give you a ticket? What do? You
Yeah. What do
challenge it.
you do?
You either pay it or you challenge it. Paying it means you have to lose demerit points. You also have to lose money out of your pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a spiteful ticket. There's no way you could prove that until you go to court. And guess what? When you go to court, oh, it's court and court and court and court. They call you back. They call you back. It's 2 years. I'm telling you, people matters was set for trial in 2026 yesterday. When I hear that, I said, no,
That's
Wendell,
ridiculous.
you ain't going through that.
So the officer that did not show up wasted the court's time. They should be fined.
Well,
And that is how much time is wasted in a week. Court's time is wasted in a week. I would like to find that out. Anyway, the big
was at pains to explain to me yesterday that this
sorry
is
for
the
magistrates, so they have a real tough job.
Yeah, they have it hard. They have it hard. This is
They have it dealing with it. So good morning to all the magistrates listening and watching us. We feel your pain. I can just imagine, God.
And I actually think that magistrate listens to our show. But I felt sorry for the magistrate yesterday.
They really it's just wasted time by police officers. We're not bashing the police officers, but it is part of your job. Anyway, good morning to Dr. Rowley. He's back in the country, and of course, the big controversy where Stuart Young was supposed to give the speech because the Diwali Nagara is closing this evening. So Dr. Rowley has agreed to attend the final night tonight of the Diwali Nagara.
Oh, so that puts that foolishness to an end.
Yeah.
Because the last time I checked, Diwali Nagara is a national festival. It's not a Gopio festival, and it's not a UNC festival. It's a national festival.
Yeah. I saw some posts over the Diwali Nagara regarding the food. They said it's a nice thing. It's just they're very mingy with their portions and very expensive.
Well, they want to make money. Vendors want to make money, Steve.
Very mingy. The last time I went to Diwali Nagara, I thought so too, and that was years ago. I ain't taking that traffic. I'll tell you that much. I ain't able to that traffic. What else is making the news this morning?
Hi, good morning, guys, and good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever they are.
Oh, look, you're wearing a Halloween costume.
Magistrate, you were talking about Wendell.
If you had logged on earlier, you would have heard the name.
My ticket matter. Remember that ticket where you were with me?
Right. Yes.
So it came up for hearing yesterday again, right? It had come up for hearing before. I had an attorney. Yesterday, it so happened my attorney wasn't there. So I sat in the court there for more than an hour waiting for the matter to be called. And when it was eventually called, I asked the magistrate to give an explanation. She said, normally that's not allowed, but go ahead. And I asked her, I want to withdraw the ticket because it's not worth it. The police officer wasn't even in court yesterday either. He never logged on. You understand? So I just said, because I've listened, Richard, and I'm hearing matters going for trial in 2026. I said, Wendell, I don't need this stress, and I don't need my witness to have this kind of stress too when he retired. So she just allowed me to pay it. She's allowing me to pay it, and I'll pay it, and that's the end of that.
Okay.
So the police, when they get 1,000, I get 3 demerit points, and the state getting $1,000 from me. I really don't need this stress, Richard. Trust me. Yeah. So
that is stress.
And yesterday, as I say, it was frustrating sitting there waiting and hoping, and I just when my turn came, because my matter called late. I sat in the court for over an hour. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Mine called, and then I'm hearing all this nonsense, and I said the police not coming to court. It just, that system is frustrating. I don't need it. Not for a ticket.
Yeah.
You know?
Our magistrate court has always been like that, right?
Mm.
But I mean, you know, but you know the old system when they're coming out
Yeah.
shouting your name and all of that.
Yes. Of course I know it. I walk out of court one day for that, you know. When they held me up and they stole my car. And the matter, they arrested the guys because my car was found down Monterey Post, San Fernando. And an MTS guard was arrested. And the other guys were caught. I went to, and they called this matter in court, Richard. And I am in the court on St. Vincent Street. And I am hearing Wendell Stephen, Wendell's echoing all through. I said, what the hell? I sitting over in the court, you know, and I'm hearing this thing echoing outside. I get up and walk out, you know. I say, not this Wendell.
Oh, Lord.
He ain't designed for that.
Good morning, beauty culture. Paul is off today. He's on a jet plane. But of course, you know, he's nagging me already. He sent me a picture. I don't know if you can see this. Remember that lady?
Oh, I heard she passed away.
Yeah, her funeral is today. We put it up again. This is how we put up stuff here on the Power Breakfast Show.
But I sent that picture in response to Richard yesterday. Didn't you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, we seen Miss Margaret, Princess Margaret.
Princess Margaret, yeah.
Yeah, who they call Princess Margaret. They call her Princess Margaret, even though she was saying,
who you feel you
if
is
you feel you is the Princess Margaret.
Yeah, you feel you is Princess Margaret.
Yeah. So, yep, that's my story from yesterday, and I've not slept a wink last night. Honestly, I have not.
I tell you what to do already. You know.
No, this was a little different. You know, this was just trying to deal with a situation there. That morning, Pamela, and the people who I reached out to for help. You know, but because
morning, Pamela. The Met Office is saying today is going to be a scorcher. Hot and sunny conditions are expected. That's the weather forecast for today. Well done, Met Services. Well done.
Yeah.
You're really on top of it with that reader. Anyway, let's grab a couple of calls. 222-8255. Toll-free North Americans. 866-525-1099. Let's grab them. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Steve.
Morning.
Morning, Wendell.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mr. Retiree. Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
In 2013, I drive in the lights by Maloney. Now I don't break traffic lights at all. And my children were young, small, so I don't even drive at the speed limit at that time. I used to take my time. So in Maloney, the light, I was in the last vehicle, and I drove, and while I going through halfway, the red light came on. So the orange didn't come on yet, but I crossed. So that means the red light was on when I reached across. But then I saw another car came behind me. I said, but where the man come from? I driving going down on Churchill Roosevelt. I hear the siren behind me. So I tell my daughter, I say, hey, the police see the man, you stopping them. I heard the man turn up a horn telling me to pull over. No, I say, why must pull over, boy? Anyway, I said, let me pull over. He came and my car asked me, so where the traffic light for? I say, I did not break any light. Is the other vehicle that going past there? Him, do answer me, no. And we ask a question.
Yeah, but you don't have to talk in that manner.
Yeah. So I say, but what did you like this? And he asked me for insurance and all them things. When I give it to him, I say, officer, hear this. Is the other driver broke the lighter? Because when I came across that the light wasn't red, but he came after me because he wasn't even on the road to take a light when all the other cars were there. He allowed me to study, give my ticket, tell me I have to pay. That was like 2013. So the month to pay was October. I don't decide I go on and contest this. I don't care. I'm not paying no $1,000. I'm not paying. So I spoke to my lawyer and he said, here what to do. Go to the court still. And he's sitting here in name and let them know that. So I said, I will go. When I went, I sat there all morning. I did not hear my name called. So I said, well, how come they didn't call my name? I went and asked about it. I asked somebody by the desk. And I said, here this now. I supposed to come in, I want to contest this. And what to do? You say, your name? Well, you have nothing to worry about. Okay. And I left. So I said, you know, what kind of thing now? I say, well, next thing they say a warrant for me. all kind of thing. So some years ago, about 3 years ago, I heard something on Beyond the Tape with Alexander. And at that time, wasn't who he is now. I mean, this officer Alexander.
Quickly, Davide, quickly. I have a lot of calls.
I was hearing him saying that there's some system there that somebody with all those old backdated tickets check the police station and area to see if any warrant is out for you. So I went to Maloney police station to see if my name there. They searched. They didn't see my name. I said, so what I have to do? They said, well, nothing was recorded. And it's 11 years now and nobody come and arrest me yet. So I threw that ticket. So I just nobody come to arrest me after. So I don't know what went on there. So I'm glad anyway, because I ain't going nowhere to pay and I didn't have to go to court. Thank you.
Well, with this system they have now, nothing is it's tied into the court system.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
It's a printed ticket.
Hi, morning.
Morning
to the folks. How are you all going?
Not bad.
Wendell, you're aware that News had elections? You hear anything about it? You know?
Yes, I got news of that this morning. They say Lambert lost.
What election?
The NUGFW. James Lambert lost. I saw that. I couldn't confirm it, but I saw that the Christopher Street guy won.
All right. The next person supposed to be thing is Leroy Baptiste. Anyhow, have a good morning.
Leroy Baptiste,
all right, all the best to you.
I think he is in the morning, you know.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Wendell. You can ask you about money. Is that police and police? I was in Arizona sometime this year in a funeral, and I pull up by Castro's to release myself in the workshop. When I come out, I see two
Patrick, you're echoing. You have
I don't know what's happening to you this morning.
You know?
You have to move away from your device.
Hold on. I think I know.
All right, Mr. Patrick, call back. Take it out and call back. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, seeing that y'all interviewing the Minister of Transportation there, will y'all be willing to ask him why he has not done anything? And he has said so about the P cars. Because women, even I think about 5 or 6 women have been raped or assaulted, sexually assaulted in these unregistered cars. And he did say when that woman was murdered, I'm going to do something. He did that in the first term. Second term, nothing has been done. So I would like to know if they did any. You should ask him if there was any improvement. Are they getting anywhere with this? Because people are I think just this year, 4 or 5 women have been sexually assaulted in these unregistered cars.
Well, you keep telling people do not take these cars.
They have no choice.
They still do.
Depending on where you live, you have zero choice.
It's a primary, but they need to be registered at somehow. You know, anybody can just.
That has been going on since Jack Warner was Minister of Works and Transport.
But
whether he registered or not registered, there are some districts where legitimate
taxi cars
cut off at a certain hour, and all you can get is PHs. So you all could talk from now till thy kingdom come. That's the only alternative people have to get home.
That is true.
Yeah, but it could be registered.
What it is.
It could be registered in a way that
even if he said he's not registering them,
I need to show my license,
illegal, it is
have
going
my
identity.
Okay, 2 of you all talking the same time.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying there must be a way we could find that when my daughter or my son jumping in a car, that I could know who's driving the car, you know. at least they display. You know, there must be some way, Richard, to show that even people are
If you
just
are going up, no, I
they're
cannot
blindly
see how
going
we
into
can do
cars
it,
that
you
are
know, Dean.
tinted.
Dean, because
but-
a lot of these guys who drive private taxis sometimes can't go for a taxi badge because they may have
Yeah,
some
we need to find a way. I don't want to care
because
about
they
the
may have some
problem. We
old
need to be
conviction
innovative. You talk
on
about
their
innovation. We're not looking at the
dismissal.
problems. We have to resolve the issues. I know all those things came up, and there are ways. There are ways you could slide
but-
up. You could help them with the registration. You could go through. There are ways to carry people through the human development ways that we could carry it through. And I think we are just not doing anything. But my friend walks out the road. She jumps. The car pulls up. It's dark. You're jumping in. You don't know who you're jumping in with. You know, these cars are just unregistered. They're unthing, but it's just a risky thing. But the data is that people are being assaulted in unregistered cars. I'm not saying that it can happen in an H car as well, but there needs to be some kind of registering. But the thing about it, they are not doing anything about it. That's what we know.
Yeah.
All right.
Relax.
Thanks,
When
Dean.
he did say he was going to do something about it. That's the thing. You have to hold people accountable to their words. Yeah, man.
All right. We'll ask him. Richard, you have papers?
Yeah, the only thing they can do is have the RFID plates so you can track who the person was.
Yeah, I think the Transport Commissioner kind of hinted to that will solve a lot of those problems.
Yeah, it had to be something to do with your license plate itself.
Yeah. And viticulture, you're right. Most of them driving somebody else's car. You know?
That too.
Yeah. And on Western Main Road in St. James, you can't get a taxi, you know. Is a Pika will be pulling up to pick you up, you know. You can't get a taxi to go to town.
Yeah. And then and then some people, there are less and less people doing taxi. Going for their taxi badges and stuff like that. Because there's now a risk for taxi drivers on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So some seaters are a risky, thing to be driving taxi. It have all of that continuing and all of that. The whole confused mix.
It's a complex thing. At the end of the day, the person has a choice, you know?
But in some areas, some people have no choice. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
It's only the PH.
Yeah.
That is doing it. Because the state can't fulfill the issue of public transport across the network of Trinidad and Tobago.
No.
They can't fulfill it. At least they have so far proven incapable of filling it.
Let's do headlines now, Richard.
Yeah, so the Trinidad and Tobago Garden for today, and of course today is Wednesday, October 30th. It's actually the eve of Diwali, as celebrated, and of course it's also the eve of Halloween. It's not coincidental that both of them are going to be on the same day.
Yeah, a dark celebration versus a light one.
One of light and one of well, we know what Halloween is.
Darkness. A Halloween house is dark.
It's costume and all that too.
Yeah.
I went to Eastgates on Saturday, and I have never seen Eastgates so packed in my life. You could not get a park.
Okay.
You could not get a park in Eastgates. In fact, there were cars. When there are cars parked in lanes waiting for somebody to come out? That's what it was.
Oh.
And all I was doing was collecting something. So I had to actually go across the road and park my super farm and walk back, collect and walk back and go. I could not get a park in Eastgates. It was crazy. I think they had maybe a Halloween thing with children. I'm not sure because I saw children in costumes. State must pay $83 million. That's the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning. Contractors default judgment against EMBD upheld by Privy Council. Munilal accuses government of wasting millions on political witch hunt. That's also on the front page. And Stuart out, PM Rowley in for Nagar closing. And a million reasons to smile. The main thing is a picture of some check being given to Minister of Education, Dr. Nan Gadsby Dolly, collects a check for the Adopt a School program from philanthropist Dr. Wayne Frederick, of course, who was the former president of Howard University. I think he and his wife donated $1 million to the Adopt a School program. So that's on the front page of The Guardian. On the back page, Red Force humbles CCC. Pierre and Karaya share 7 wickets. And that's it for the front and the back of The Guardian. Moving on to the Newsday. Front page, Privy Council, EMBD fails to prove fraud on Carney project. Government must pay $83 million to Junior Sammy. More trouble at Cedar Secondary School. And lighted pathway are members of the Shiv Shakti. No, I would say Shiv Shakti. I thought it was dance, but it's not. So let me read properly here. Members of the Shiva Ghana organization perform Lakshmi Aarti at the Diwali Nagar. So there's a picture of that. I keep promising to go to the Diwali Nagar and I can't reach it. But people say it's really something to visit.
Next year for it. All right.
Yeah, something to visit. And on the back page of the Newsday, defending champs TT shine in low-scoring Super 50 opener. Carry spins Red Force to win, and St. Benedict's spank Miracle 8-0 to win SSFL Premier title. The Daily Express for this morning, the headline, Rowley speaks at Nagar. Amid Stewart controversy, NCIC head confirms closing night address. Calm, Forex ransom. I don't know what that means. And on the back page of the Newsday today, of the Daily Express, moms in Cutlass fight. Police probe clash outside Cedar School. And in terms of the sports in the Daily Express, off the mark, defending champs Red Force whip CCC in Super 50 opener. St. Benedict's win league title, but SSFL decision on Garcia pending, and now they wait. Etmar returns for ODI series against England, and Puran to be retained by Super Giants. And that's it for our 3 dailies in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago this morning.
All right.
Let me just add quickly.
Come up with a poll by the time, gentlemen.
Nylan Hippolyte's funeral is today, this morning, at the All Saints Anglican Church in Marley Street from 9 a.m., okay? The funeral of former Member of Parliament, former Parliamentary Secretary Nylan Hippolyte, is today at the All Saints Anglican Church in Marley Street, all right?
All right. Our poll yesterday, come up with a poll, gentlemen, where we asked you.
There's a poll that he did yesterday for today. Didn't he retain it? Isn't it saved somewhere?
Oh, Paul is not in today.
I know, but I thought he was saved in his system.
Oh, I can't remember what it is. No, Ruben
It was about the Diwali Nagar, Stuart.
All right, which is no longer relevant.
Which is no longer relevant.
That's no longer relevant. All right. Our poll yesterday, should the parents fighting outside the Cedar Secondary School be charged? That was our poll. Results are in. 90% said yes. And Cedars made the news again yesterday. A young man with his weed whacker in the Cedars area, and the blade came loose and struck him, and he died because of that accident.
Died?
Yeah. I'm so afraid of them weed whackers. Huh? All right. Our poll this morning, gentlemen, what are we going with?
Which one you want to use this morning? Because the poll that was proposed is now moot. Dr. Rowley is back, of course.
Yeah. And he said he's going to attend this evening.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. He won't have traffic to go through like the rest of us.
Well, there's a Forex crisis of some sort. Beyond the usual Forex issues, there seems to be a ramping up of it from Exim Bank. Where I think it seems that food importers are suggesting that they may have to increase their prices. And
when they take in Forex to buy pumpkins? Well, all right. So what our poll would be, Rich? Go with it.
So no, well, I'm just suggesting that's a topic. I'm not.
Oh, go ahead. That's a valid point.
Well, and Commonwealth was saying that the food importers can't hold citizens to ransom by increasing the prices. But they're saying they can't access the foreign exchange to pay for their goods.
So we can ask, do you expect food prices to increase due to the Forex, the lack of Forex? We can ask that, right? Do you expect food prices to be increased due to the Forex situation?
Crisis.
222-8255.
Toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099. We only have 3 minutes to vote. So let's get it cracking. WhatsApp 318-1021. Again, our question, Wendell.
Do you expect food prices to increase due to the Forex crisis? Yes or no?
All right. There you go.
Because food importers are saying they're probably going to have to increase it if they can't get access.
Yeah.
Pay their bills. And of course, the
Miguel says yes. Do you expect food prices to increase due to the current Forex crisis? Yes or no? Rapid Fire says yes. You got Anthony Miguel. He said yes. We got calls. Good morning, caller.
Look at Finbar Collins' comment earlier.
Caller, morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah.
Radio. Thank you, San Fernando. Good morning.
Good morning, Rob here from Antigua. Yes, last time I checked, Trinidad is a capitalist society, so yes, they will work. They have no way to stop it.
Long time no hear from Robbie.
Alana Smith says yes. Augustine says yes.
Alana Smith? You changing up people's name just now.
Where did I say? I move out of it. Alana Simmons, sorry. Michael Robinson says yes. Mogain says yes. I'm moving to WhatsApp here now. Put a name and tell us where you're calling from as well. Somebody in the UK. Who is it? Vincent says yes. Captain Ron says yes. Anthony in Toronto says yes. Cascade St. Anne says yes. Michael Oliver out in New York says yes. Jess Archer Kennedy, yes. David Wares, yes. Beauty Culture, okay. Julia Espeti says yes. Slick Money Group says yes. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Gandhi. Before I give my vote, please let me wish my daughter Laurie Gomes a happy birthday tomorrow. And this is coming from her dad, her mom, and her brothers and sisters abroad. My answer is yes.
All right. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday. Your daughter as well on Diwali. DL says yes. Lennon Robert says yes. Calvert Gabriel says yes. Gregory Bauer says yes. Lester Crigwell says yes. All right. 222-8255. This mouse is so giving me a hard time this morning. Let's see. Let me just pull up this for AV one time. Days at 30th. Right. Pull it up. Okay. So let's see. Marvin Connor says yes. Hi Ben says yes. WhatsApp at 318-1021. Do you expect food prices to increase due to the current Forex crisis? Yes or no? Another thing going up. Everything going up. Okay, CPD saying you have to vote. All right. Of course, Evie is going to walk in a sec. Ben says yes. All right. Lorna, morning, Lorna. Indy, Kali, that's a yes. All right. We should be getting into our major news right now. Evie is walking in, so let's get into it on this, the 30th day of October.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Prime Minister back in the country and will attend final night of Diwali Nagar. Contractor Junior Sami gets Privy Council judgment in his favor against EMBD. Rudal Munilal says the state must answer for millions spent in EMBD quote-unquote witch hunt. And Finance Ministry describes as misleading Forex access stories in a daily newspaper. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintil-Bab. Good morning. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has returned to the country and will attend today's final night of the Diwali Nagar, in effect mooting the controversy surrounding Stuart Young's attendance. National Council for Indian Culture, NCIC President Durup Timal yesterday confirmed that Dr. Rowley will be their featured speaker tonight. Timal stated it is tradition for whoever is Prime Minister to speak on the closing night of the event, and this year is no different. However, it was noted that had Young still been acting as Prime Minister today, the NCIC would have still resisted the pressure from the local chapter of the Global Organization of People of Indian Origin to rescind the invitation sent to the office of the Prime Minister. In a letter to the NCIC on Monday, Gopio TT speculated that Young would be attending as acting Prime Minister in the absence of Rowley, who went to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa last week. The letter said it would be improper for Young to speak on such a holy platform, considering his recent controversy in Parliament, where he was caught hurling salacious insults at the opposition leader in a hot mic incident. But Timal said the invite was sent to the OPM and not any particular person. Reportedly, an internal conflict has broken out in Gopio over the issue. Gopio's parent body condemned the action in an email sent to the local chapter's secretary and president. Gopio's Caribbean coordinator, Dio Gosine, told the local officials that the letter, which likened Young to the Hindu demon god Ravana, was surprising, ill-advised, and did not represent Gopio's policy, and immediate discussions were to be held to withdraw the same. Gosine alleged that Gopio's TNT secretary, Karan Nanku, met him at the Nagara last Sunday and said that the UNC asked him to write to the NCIC to withdraw Young's invitation. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council gave a judgment on Tuesday in which it upheld the unanimous decision of the Court of Appeal of Trinidad and Tobago and the decision given by the High Court in favor of Junior Sami Contractors Limited against the Estate Management and Business Development Company Limited. EMBD entered into a contract on February 4th, 2015 with Junior Sami Contractors Limited to carry out residential infrastructure works for TT $231,235,125.36 at Caroni Savannah Residential Development Phase B. The contractor carried out the works between February 4th and August 17th, 2015. Former Attorney General Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, who is representing the contractors, claims this is an important judgment as it vindicates the character and reputation of the contractor. This appeal concerned a claim which was filed by the contractor against EMBD for sums of monies owed to it in respect of construction works done for EMBD pursuant to their contract.
The terms of this judgment should make government and state-owned companies consider taking measures to put administrative measures and infrastructure in place to ensure that claims made by contractors, when properly assessed, and show that there is no defense to the claim, the government and the state-owned companies should not waste financial resources spending money on legal fees and other costs to defend those claims. This is important because it would save taxpayers' monies, which would be saved by not having to pay legal costs to defend the claim, the interest accumulated on some claim, and to pay legal costs for those who file the claim.
Maharaj says the Privy Council made it clear that there was no evidence produced by EMBD to show there was any fraud committed by the contractor.
The contractor contended before the court that the fact that the defendant had suspicions of fraud is not sufficient in law to plead a defense. The law required that when a fraud has to be pleaded, it must be pleaded with full particulars in order to give the other side the opportunity to answer the allegations of fraud. Consequently, EMBD did not plead a defense of fraud, and therefore the defense had pleaded for a reduction in the price of the works done, which is called abatement, has no merit.
Former Housing Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal is heavily criticizing the government over its defeat in the Privy Council. Munilal is also involved in a multi-million-dollar case with the EMBD. In a statement, he said taxpayers paid millions for the quote-unquote rum shop argument advanced by the EMBD against SAMI. He said when the UNC was in office, they ensured that decisions were properly and legally taken, institutions were robust, and oversight was compulsory, and decisions were taken on the basis of independent assessments and recommendations. He said for JSCL to get summary judgment in the High Court, it means the EMBD's defense was weak. Munilal maintained that this was politically motivated and the most expensive witch hunt in history. He added that the millions in legal fees could have provided food cards for the hungry, medicines for the poor at rundown hospitals, jobs for desperate youth, and help for small businesses. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Foreign exchange from the Exim Bank has never been allocated to import vehicles, new or used, or is it distributed for the importation of luxury items or non-essentials such as fireworks? The Ministry of Finance gave this response as it gave its side of the story to what it describes as mischievous and yet another series of misleading and inaccurate stories about access to foreign exchange by a daily newspaper. It says Forex from the Exim Bank has only ever been allocated for importing essential goods such as basic food and medicine during the COVID-19 period, and principally for inputs into manufacturing such as raw material and equipment. Foreign exchange from the Exim Bank has never been sent directly to any importer. All foreign payments, it said, once verified, are made directly by the Exim Bank to vetted and validated international suppliers. Meanwhile, the Finance Ministry explains it is a matter of record. Wholesale importers were aware the Forex window for essential imports was temporary. They were also informed in August of 2024, well before Budget 2025 was delivered. The Forex facility was under review and would be amended to return the program to its original intent and purpose. The Finance Ministry said it is unfortunate some wholesale importers sought to make purchases without ensuring their source of funds, thus creating problems for themselves. He said the direct provision of foreign exchange by the government through the Exim Bank is designed to encourage export manufacturing and economic activity and is a policy intended to promote and support diversification, which no sensible person could object to. However, it noted the addition of a second Forex window at the Exim Bank for essential imports during the COVID-19 pandemic cannot create a situation where, 4 years later, the government is being held liable by certain private sector businessmen for the items they ordered and received without paying for them. He says the public should not be held to ransom with a threat of increased prices for the restructuring and rationalization of a service that was introduced as a temporary measure during the COVID-19 emergency and which it was well known was always subject to periodic review. Well, finally, here's weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, predominantly sunny. Hot and sunny conditions are expected despite a few afternoon showers. Tonight will be fair. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Currently, it is 26 degrees Celsius at Piarco and also at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, Prime Minister back in the country and will attend final night of Diwali Nagar. Contractor Junior Sami gets Privy Council judgment in its favor against EMBD. Rudal Munilal says the state must answer for millions spent in EMBD witch hunt, and Finance Ministry describes as misleading Forex access stories in a daily newspaper. I'm Avril Sindhil-Bab. That was news at 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Avril, for your major news. Of course, you can join her again. Come at 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Quickly, let's see what's happening on the highways and byways. Any issues anywhere? Yeah, I got one issue. I got one. It's just after Monroe Road on the Uriah Butler Highway heading north. All right. Yeah. All right, there's a car accident there just after Monroe Road heading north. Apart from that, usual spots, you're going to get traffic. I'm sure traffic is going to be a lot lighter come Friday. A lot of people taking the day off, I'm sure, to make it a long weekend. All right, let's see if we have any more votes. Jason Paul says yes. Sexy San Fernando, I know you said something earlier on. Sexy San Fernando said yes.
I'm not sure Jason Paul is a vote, you know. He says citizens of Trinidad is a big joke. Yes, I'm not sure there's a vote.
We could say citizens of Trinidad is a big joke. Yes, I don't know. He didn't put anything there. All right, you know, this was just sent to me. I just have to shake my head, so I'm just going to read it. 4 gunmen robbed the manager of the Suarez Brothers circus of $30,000. His passport. That happened last evening at the Chaguanas location of the circus.
The circus is in Chaguanas now?
Yeah. All right. The men exited a white Nissan B15. They also robbed 2 local employees of $500 and $2,300 in cash and fled in the B15.
30,000. Go on, let's like that.
Just like that.
I didn't realize the circus was in Chaguanas.
Yeah, it is. Huda Well says yes. Andre says yes. All right, let's get the results of our morning poll before I call the minister.
Well, there were 31 people voting on the poll this morning. And of course, the poll was, do you expect food prices to be increased in light of limited access to foreign exchange? We had 31 people voting on the poll. Of the 31 people voting, all of you said yes, you do expect an increase in food prices as a result of the issue, and there were no negative votes, so that in itself says it. Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day through all programming, and we'll give you the final results tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but on Friday morning. As we come to the end of the week. Today is almost like a Thursday. It's like the weekend begins tonight at a second out of midnight as we move towards the weekend. And of course, because tomorrow is a public holiday in honor of Diwali. And of course, just reminding you that theater will be on next week, Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and 10th. And of course, it's our closing of the theater season for 2024. So it's our final 2 performances in theater for 2024 by the RSRR production team. And we are doing Love is a Walk, which will be at Cipriani College on Saturday at 8:30 next week, which is the 9th of November, and Sunday the 10th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets will go on sale from, I think, Friday across all our usual outlets. Last 2 shows for theater for 2024 as we get ready for 2025. So the theater season closes next week, Saturday and Sunday at Cipriani College. And we, of course, are closing with the #1 play of 2024, Love is a Walk.
By far, the #1 play. That was a good play. Immediately following Diwali, too, is All Saints and All Souls Day, the November 1st and 2nd, where the Anglicans and the Catholics would go and light up their graves and so on and honor their loved ones who passed. So lots of lights. People be careful because a lot of people leave these dares and the candles lighting around their homes. Please be careful. I don't think we've had a year without some disaster, you know? So just please be careful, you know, with the lights that you're lighting. Don't leave them unattended at all. You don't need any incidents this year, all right? We are waiting to speak with the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport.
Yeah, I think he's on the phone, so I'll give him a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'll give him a couple of minutes.
Because the next best bet is Adande Pigat, you know. Adande know everything that's going on in our ministry.
I know. He knows everything that's going on.
Everything that's going on in our ministry. But he could break some talk from interviews. Oh, gosh. Morning, Adandi. Adandi is a good soul, yes. Good
I
soul.
ain't seen him in a while.
He's a good soul, yeah.
I have not.
Hmm.
All right, let me try the minister again.
All right. In the meantime, some comments on our. Is it confirmed that James Lambert lost the new presidency to Christopher Street? I saw it on Facebook, but I can't verify if it's confirmed. Wendell Eversley actually posted it, if I'm not mistaken. Sherman did too, and that he lost that. But that was expected. That was expected. And you could expect some shakeups in some of the other unions coming up in their elections and so on. You know?
Yeah, phone is ringing out. I think he was on the phone, so.
Well, let's open the lines by the time now, while we wait on him.
Yeah, I'll give him 5 minutes. All right. Yeah, we'll take a couple of calls. 222-8255. Toll free, North Americans, 866-525-1099. That's our numbers directly to the studio.
Yesterday, of course, was the Minister of Education's birthday, Dr. Nyan Gatsby Dolly. Belated birthday greetings to her.
There was some story with the Ministry of Education last night. What was it about? I can't remember what it was.
The school? The Cedar School?
I can't remember the Cedar School. Maybe it was the night before. But it was TV6 or CNC3, and they were saying that whatever it was, then they were saying that they couldn't get any comment from the minister. And is she difficult for media generally?
Not that I know.
Can't you tell?
No, well, I know we have an issue. But I don't know if generally is she.
And I don't think we have an issue either.
We do?
I believe if you call the minister now, she will join you.
No, she won't.
Okay.
No, but Steve has said that
like 5 or 6 times I've tried to get her on.
Because you're not understanding what I'm hinting at you.
What is that?
Okay.
No, I'm not going to call her.
All right.
No, I'm not going to call her again to come on the program. I am not. It's, we have a very nice relationship and everything, but, when you ducking, there's a crisis in the schools.
Finback Collins look, Finback Collins just answer.
No, I have to call the Minister of Works and Transport. That is already in the books.
No, I'm not speaking about that. He answered your question.
Oh, that. Yeah, well, I don't know. I really don't know. So, I don't know. Elections coming around, they'll be knocking their door and I will blatantly say no.
We know that for sure. Eh?
I will blatantly tell them no.
Everybody will become accessible. Trust me.
No, I'm not. I remember the last 5 years when I tried to get you, couldn't get you. Now you want a platform? No. Doesn't work that way. Let me try and call the minister again.
Well, let's take calls in the interim. If you don't get him now, let's just take calls in the interim.
Maybe the Prime Minister called them, so.
There must be some potholes leading up to the Diwali Naga they had to fix today.
Really? I'm going to call him myself. Let me take the calls here. All right, talk to the callers. I'm going on the phone.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good talk. Good morning.
Morning, Wendell. It's Rob and not Roy.
Who's this?
Yes, Rob from Antigua, not Roy.
From Antigua, right. Yeah. How are you going?
All right. So I called for a couple of things. One, that tag stickers that you all were talking about earlier on. There is 2 countries in the Caribbean I know that use it. St. Kitts and Barbados is the other one. I think I sent it on the chat. It's a little sticker that the insurance companies give you to put on your license plate, just like how they do it in New York and some of the other states. So you don't have to change your plates. You don't have to do any of those things. It's just like the inspection sticker that you get for the car from licensing office, but there's a little sticker that is color coded for the year that you put on the number plate itself. So there are things, and it's issued by the insurance companies in Barbados. So when you go to pay insurance and you hand in on your documents to show that your car was inspected, you pay all your different things that you have to pay. When you hand in all of that, say get your insurance. Once the insurance company vets it, they issue you with the sticker and then do their back-end reconciliation with the licensing office. Because I remember when I had to license my car in Barbados, I couldn't get the sticker because there was a ticket on the system for the car. So you had to go pay the ticket and come back, and then you was able to get the sticker. And also I had a expat worker with me that was a driver, and he had to produce a temporary license in order to get the sticker. So it's not no big set of mathematics for them to get these things done in Trinidad if they want to do it. But there is no will to do it, and there's always an excuse for something. The other thing with the PH drivers, I think that the caller that called in was correct. If you have PH drivers in your area, let them go and register in the police station in the area. And they have a list of who are the recognized PH drivers in the area. And just as they give them a bus route pass, let the police issue a pass to these people to be registered taxi drivers in the area. Because,
all right, thanks, Rob.
Again, the maxi taxi. Okay, thank you.
No, go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah, the maxi taxis earlier on in the 80s or 90s when they issued the maxi taxis, it was to supplement the taxi service, and it was a registered thing that they only had a certain amount in an area that was registered. So all of these things, the Ministry of Works have the framework for it, but who is enforcing it to the letter of the law to make sure that it is done correctly? But anyway, guys, again, more callers, so thank you again.
All right, thanks.
Take care. Hello, good morning. Steve?
No, I think yeah, I gave him minister now, so he just called me and told me he's on the phone, so.
All right, folks, we don't mean to give you dead air, but we are making a call once again to the Minister of Works and Transport, Ragoobarsingh, who is going to update us on licensing issues and road networks and PCARs and all manner of things. Richard, when last you passed from Mary Road, I stay from that road there.
I haven't passed on, but I go up to maybe Extra Foods.
Okay.
I go up to Extra Foods. I don't go beyond that because it even looks chaotic at this point because of how it just looks.
I went to same Mario's. I went to the Mario's Pizza right there the other day for the first time in a long while. And I turned and went back the other way. I didn't want to go further north.
Yeah.
That's
generally, I don't go because I just think it's a traffic nightmare heading straight to the highway. Because you're in that single lane traffic heading to the highway. And I did it once the other day, actually, so I'm wrong, because you have a turnoff of some sort. Businesses on that street obviously have to be affected because it seems a little cumbersome to get to them, especially if you're on the right-hand side, if you're heading towards the highway.
Yes,
if you're on the right-hand side, it seems a little difficult to get to you, whatever your business is. And even the gas station, the NP gas station at that end there's one entrance allowed onto and to exit because of the road work that's being done. So it's
all right. Gentlemen, I do have the Minister of Works and Transport on the line, the Honorable Minister Ragoobarsingh. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Morning, Steve. Morning.
We have the two Halloween people, Paul and Wendell.
Paul?
Oh, well,
Richard and Wendell. It is a habit.
Well, we're also celebrating Diwali on Halloween night. So
yeah, what time the crew supposed to be by you for food?
My house is open not only Diwali day, anytime. Once you're hungry, you stop over. You don't have to wait for Diwali.
You don't know what you're saying, Minister.
I'll be hungry around.
You can't say that on open radio that your house always open for food. You're mad.
No. We have some. You see, in Hinduism, we have something called barakat. It means no matter how little food we have, we will always be able to share. We'll share.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call barakat.
Well, I normally go to a house which is like a block from you for Diwali. They're out in the country, and the other two people I normally go by as well, they had a death in the family, so it's nothing. So yeah, I'll be ringing your doorbell. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining us, Minister, and happy Diwali.
Thank you, Minister. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, and let me use the opportunity to wish the entire country a happy Diwali as well.
All right, thank you.
Is the Prime Minister back, Minister?
Yes. Prime Minister is back. I mean, what, you're not keeping in touch with the time? Or what?
No,
you're supposed to know that. I understand you're one of the persons in this country that they will report to as soon as they land.
One would figure.
I'm not sure about that. Minister, thanks again for joining us. We have a few topics where we want to cover this morning. Let's get the PICA issue away fast because we know the others may take about a little more time. What's the issue with the PICA issue that one caller this morning said that you had promised to resolve once and for all? That issue of PICA.
Yeah, you hearing us, Minister?
Are you hearing us, Minister?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Minister. It's
we lost him?
Hello?
He's not hearing us, and I don't know why.
Are you hearing us, Minister?
Yeah, hello?
Right. I think he is hearing us now. Hearing us now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Right.
Yeah. One of our callers this morning, Minister, brought up the issue. We just wanted to get this question out of the way. He brought up the issue of PH taxi drivers. And of course, they're sometimes the only taxis in certain areas. And there's been talk of registration of those taxi drivers because of these several issues that have occurred of a criminal nature with PH taxi drivers, whether there was any plan for registration of those types of transport in the works or not.
All right, so let me clear up the phrase. There's nothing like a PH taxi driver. Taxi driver is the legal form of transportation that we have. Taxis. What you have when we say PH means that somebody who is not a bona fide taxi driver using their private car for hire. Right? Now that is not a taxi in the true sense of the word. It's a private car that is being used for hire. That is outside the law. And the reason for that is once you are legally transporting commuters, there are certain requirements. One, the vehicle itself must have certain types of insurances, which is one of the main bugbear. And the person who is driving that vehicle must have a certain amount of driving experience because now you're actually transporting lives on a constant basis. So that is why a taxi driver has a taxi badge. A badge qualifies you to do that. And also your vehicle carries a different class of insurance. So in case somebody is damaged in an accident and so that person is covered. That is not the case in a private car. So there's nothing like a PH taxi driver. Now, to get to the meat of the question where is there registered, there's a process that we are going through to try to have a certain class of persons who want to use their private vehicle for hire. How we make that as part of the law and to have the persons who are using those vehicles covered. There's a little challenge in that, and that is why even at this time it is a little bit difficult because one, the insurance companies are very hesitant on insuring cars in Trinidad that are used, private cars that are used for hire. So we are working on it. It is a little bit challenging, but I am sure we are going to get to a point where we will have a certain system in place for people who want to do that. But at this point in time, no, because you can't legalize something technically that is illegal, which is PH driving.
Is there any timeline with regard to that process that you're talking about?
There is document now that is before the cabinet. So we are doing the final review on it. We will have some final consultations on it, just like what we're doing with the license plates and so. And once that consultation is completed, then we will have something to work with. And I'm hoping that within the next couple of months, we should have something to work with on that. It is not as easy as, if you just register all the drivers and it works. What we're looking at is a form, something like how you have the ride share, where people can register and you can have a blanket covering for the insurance and so. And the vehicles themselves will have to be inspected to make sure that they're worthy of transporting people. Because if you look at some of the PH vehicles, some of them, they have challenges in the roadworthiness and so. So although we come with a system, you will still find, because of our culture, some PH working within the PH system, because not everybody will want to comply with it, because you'll have to register your vehicle and so. But what this will allow is that somebody who has a permanent job or somebody who they want to do transportation of people as a side, then they could register with the group and they could then operate within the law. So we are working on something right now.
As an aside, you mentioned the document before cabinet. You also mentioned license plates, which is a good segue into that issue, because I know a couple of years ago, even on this program, you had mentioned the issue of RFID license plates, and it was also a national discussion, and was going to be rolled out, and it never happened.
Right.
And when we spoke to the Commissioner of Transport, and he had indicated that there may be a different system, but he would leave it for you to discuss with us when we speak with you. So now that we have the opportunity to speak with you, is there a different system to the RFID license plate that is being considered? And what's the timeline on that? Because it's way overdue.
Okay, so when I mentioned that just now, I spoke about the consultation. So only yesterday, the ministry would have had the final consultation in Tobago. An entire team went across to Tobago because we have the cabinet approval, but the cabinet approval gives us, we have to go out now for a final round of consultation. We had 3 in Trinidad and 1 in Tobago. Tobago, we had the final consultation yesterday. The entire team, Transport Commissioner, Permanent Secretary, the entire team went across to Tobago to meet with all the stakeholders in Tobago. Now that has been completed, they are now going to finalize the whole program for that license plate, the new rollout of the license plate system, and we will have a tender going out for it, hopefully within the next, I would say, 2 weeks, because we would have gone through all the different processes. It is not something that we can do overnight. We were talking about the RFID, however, the technology would have changed so drastic, and we would have done a lot of work in license office where we would have embraced technology over the last 5 years. We did not have to actually go with that system that we were talking about, because we went into a lot of the cameras, a lot of the new systems. It made it a lot easier for us to go with a new license plate, a new standardized license plate at a much more reasonable cost. And we did not have to close down all the bona fide license plate dealers who wants to come into a more regulated system. So what you will have happening very soon is a regulated license plate system. So anybody who wants to continue their business of making license plates will have to now be enrolled and licensed by the licensing department, and they will be linked to license office, just like how we have the inspection garages. License office will then have to issue every number plate that is made. License office will have a record of it. It will be done in real time, and they will be able to control the numbers and have different specifications on the license plate that will be able to be read by cameras on the road, and we will just pick up immediately once a license plate is identified, if that is a stolen car, if something is wrong, that is not the license plate for that car, we'll be able to pick up all that in real time. So that is being rolled out now as we speak.
So it's not that the license plate itself will have any...
Yes, it will have. It will have features in it that the cameras will be able to pick up.
Oh, okay.
You'll see the number plate, but there will be different specifications on the license plate that will tell you automatically if that is a false plate or if that plate is not for that car or whatever. And then what we'll have now is a regulated industry for making license plates. So you'll have to be licensed and authorized by the state. So
I know at one time there was also discussion on the issue of personalized license plates and natural license.
Yeah, so all that has been done. Again, Cabinet have approved all that for us. However, what we are waiting for is the rollout of the new license plate, and both will come on at the same time. And we're hoping that we could have that here within the next two months or so.
Minister, I wanted to quickly touch on, we have so many things to talk to you about, but the issue of City Gate and the priority bus route in terms of those bus sheds and so on. What is being done about it? PTSC, we had a poll last week that should PTSC be privatized, and majority of the people said yes. What is happening at PTSC?
But we did have a private bus service in Trinidad at one time. And it worked pretty well. But then it was shut down. And it must have had a reason for that. And it's a simple reason. When you privatize something like that, then it has, for it to attract people to come and invest into it, it must be profitable to them. Our public transportation through PTSC is heavily subsidized. It's probably subsidized to the tune of about 80 to 90%. Anything like that will not attract investment. So, and we have to continue to subsidize the public transport like that in Trinidad if we want to ease the traffic congestion. Because one of the drivers that we're using for traffic congestion is to have an improved PTSC service. So that we're working on. As a matter of fact, before I get to the bus shed, I can tell you that we now have for the first time a center where we can monitor all the buses in real time, meaning we can go into this center, this big room that we have now. We actually converted part of a terminal in Tunapuna. And we have now this monitoring room where we can identify on a screen or different screens every bus, where they are, how long they will take to get from point A to point B, which we will roll out now. The next step is in an app where anybody could track the buses where they are and what time they will reach at the stop, what time they will leave the station. We have embraced technology again at PTSC, where we have engaged different companies to bring that service to the sort of standard that we want. We know PTSC does have its challenge in terms of the culture at PTSC. We have some challenges with getting the staff to adapt to this new system and things like that. But we will get there. We are rolling out all these systems now. We have a program where all the bus sheds are to be upgraded, some being powered by solar and things like that, because we have a challenge in Trinidad where once you have a nice, clean bus shed, then some people use it. So some people move into it. Somebody lesser fortunate members of society will move in and make it a home. That is a challenge we have because we can't have a policeman or a security guard in every bus shed in Trinidad. So there are some challenges that we have, but PTSC does have a program now where they will be rehabilitating all the bus sheds that they have.
But I would imagine, Minister, in addition to that center at Tunapuna, that at the bus sheds themselves, once you do a bus shed, I can't see the point in putting up a bus shed without putting up some sort of screen so that the commuters could actually see the arrival of a bus. Because, I mean, in other parts of the world, that happened over 20, 30 years already.
Right. So those are things that you would want to reach to, but that is not going to happen. We have to prioritize. Remember, everything costs money. That's one. Two, you have to maintain things when you put it out, because we have a culture in Trinidad. We love to do all the nice things, but then maintenance is where we fall apart. These things do cost money to keep up. And that is why in the first instance, in some stations, yes, you will get that. But we can't do that in all the bus stations. And that is why we have decided to go with the app, because almost everybody in Trinidad now has a smartphone.
Okay.
And once you know that's your normal mode of transportation, all you'll have to do is to download the app. And once you have that app, you will be able to, on your phone, know exactly where the bus is and what time the next bus is coming to the station and things like that. So that process have already started. It took a little longer. We actually went out for new buses. We had to cancel the tender twice. But right now we're at the stage of final evaluation, and we're hoping to have new buses coming into the country maybe in the first quarter of next year. And once that happens, then the fleet and ptsc will also be upgraded. The idea is to utilize to improve the entire fleet by using a significant portion with electric buses. That is another thing that we're looking at. We'd love to reach the stage where the entire bus route, we want to term that a green route, where almost everything on that should be electric. Because you have a lot of commuters in and out there, and breathing in the fumes from these buses and these cars. They can't be that healthy for you. So that is one of the routes that we the aim is to get in within the next couple of years. So that's the first green route in Trinidad, where almost everything on that is renewable energy.
What about bus operations on a public holiday?
Well, the problem with that is that there's nobody to travel to transport. When we look at the figures over the years, it goes down to about 1% of the traveling population on those days. So you have buses running up and down with nobody, and sometimes with one person. So there's a call, because remember, when you run on those days, the cost of PTSC is like 2 and 3 times, because it's overtime, it's this, it's public holidays, and so, and then nobody utilizing it. What they do, if there's a route that they see a need for, they will do that route. But in general, if there's nobody traveling on most of the routes, it makes no sense running the buses up and down. Yeah. Because that was the main decision behind it. When you look at the numbers, there were some buses running from Port of Spain to Santana without one person in it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that you take like that. But it has nothing to do with, okay, it's public holiday, so we all stay home. They really, and I mean, maybe 1 or 2 persons, and then those persons will make it, they inform the population, look, I want to travel, but then is it really economical to run a bus from Port of Spain to Santana to bring one person up?
Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead, Richard.
No, Minister, with regard to Citygate, I mean, it's a conversation we have from time to time on the Power Breakfast show. Are there any plans to upgrade Citygate? Citygate sees more traffic in terms of thousands of people on a daily basis than even our airport. And it should be spectacular because it's for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago primarily. So it should be a spectacular hub, akin to the kind of hubs you see in major cities. Why is there a plan to upgrade it?
Yes, and there is not only a plan, all the drawings, the engineering, everything have been completed. There's a major project for the upgrade of Citygate, which is part of the Port of Spain development program that is handled by UDICOT. And it's a whole transformation of the Citygate area. So that have already been approved. UDICOT is handling that. And I mean, it is supposed to be, once completed, an area that will really enhance the whole Port of Spain area. But it's a bigger plan coming through the Port of Spain development program.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
You need a big glass building there with lights where you could see screens. You need something attractive in the city. Not this big concrete thing with plants growing up on the top.
Wendell,
It's a
I'm
beautiful
sure you
building.
can get access to the drawings, and I'm sure when you see the drawings, you'll be very impressed. I was impressed when I saw it.
Yeah, in this modern day and age, you have a plant growing out of the side of them building and thing, and sticking
It needs some maintenance work.
One of the reasons why you wouldn't see that amount of maintenance is because the major project is supposed to start anytime.
Okay.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's really great news.
All right. Somebody is asking me here. Let me see if I find it on our chat. To ask the minister. Okay, McGilvery Road in Grandy that is collapsing on the side after works to the river. You know anything about that?
No, I wouldn't know about it. I think you have to get the pronunciation of the word correct, but if that is
McGilvery Road in Grandy.
you just WhatsApp me that, and I will have the engineers look at it.
I'll do that right now. That reminds me. So last time we spoke, that flyover by NP Bagwensing is coming in a Port of Spain. The metal grates were missing. I don't know if the city corporation want you to come and put the grates in, but you know what they did? They paved over the grates. So you're coming off a highway, the Beetham Highway, onto that ramp, and there are 5 humps in where individuals have to almost come to a complete stop to go over that ramp. There's a flyover by NP Bagwensing to head into Port of Spain.
Let me send it to me, and let me I will share. If it's on the flyover and you're speaking about the joints, is it the joints?
The joints, we're supposed to have the metal grates. They pave over that and made a hump.
No. What is happening is that those joints are designed like that. But from time to time, the whatever it is filled with.
No, you know what they did? Because
they paved over it, right?
They paved over it, but they paved a hump.
Right. So what we did is that now we have we actually, it's a special type of material that you have to use.
Yes.
To seal that. It was unavailable. They couldn't get it imported or anything like that. But I understand now they finally got the correct material for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they will have to take those things off and then put the correct material. Those are joints that are designed for that, to give you the sort of movement.
It needs movement with the heat and everything, yes.
Right. Remember when those interchange were built, the technology was slightly different. Now, if you look at the new interchange, you don't have those joints that far apart and so. So as technology change, things change, but when that intersection was built, that is what was used at the time.
Yeah, I see it within the interchange, and by QREP, I see the proper fixtures there. But that because it creates they've had a few accidents. You're coming off a highway and then you're just seeing red lights in front of you. So they had a few accidents.
Technology would have developed, and that is why there's actually one when you're coming out at the foreshore.
Right.
You have that same challenge there, and it's only because of then that is what was used. So you have these constant, the movement of the asphalt on the joints.
All right. I have another message here stating, can you ask the minister about the temporary diversion on the southbound by Macaulay? It's going to be repaired until what is going on with the cable barriers on the highway?
All right. So the Macaulay, what had happened in Macaulay about a year ago, we had a major failure taking place there. So we had to do a temporary shoring up. And once we did the temporary shoring up, then we had to go in and do full investigations as to what was causing the failure. You see, when you have a failure like that, it is not just go in and build a wall. You have to go and understand what is causing the failure. The failure in Macaulay was a complete movement of water. They had to identify where the water was coming from, what was causing the whole major land movement. Once they identified that, then they had to go and find a solution. So they came up with a solution, and it's not a simple solution. It's a lot of ptsc piling and things like that. And then we had to go out for tender. So there is a contractor on site working as we speak. The work would have started. I think it is Junior Sami is the contractor who's quite capable of, in getting the solution that they came up, the engineers came up with done there. So the work is going on. If you go there now, you will actually see Junior Sammy has mobilized and the work would have started. But it is not as simple as people think to just go in there, put a retaining wall, and take off these steel sheets. But what we were able to establish is the flow of traffic, because that area has 2 lanes, and we were able to get back to 2 lanes by using part of the medium to center medium.
Okay.
Go ahead, Richard.
There was another question there, cable barriers, right? So what we have realized that the cable barriers is a very safe protection on the highways, but it was not economical for us because we were spending millions of dollars every year to put back up these cables, because once you touch the cable, which was happening every night at different points, the cable drops for a couple hundred meters. It just was uneconomical, and we could not keep up with the amount of it. So we took a decision to do is to move away from cable barriers. And we will utilize the cable barriers as long as we have it in certain areas. We just wouldn't take them down. So where they were up, we will keep them, but then we move to guardrails. So we would have issued so far 3 contracts to remove the barriers that are down and put guardrails, which is a lot more economical for us, and it offers the same safety. So that project is ongoing. Commuting on the highway, you will see a lot of work going to start with that. We have 3 contracts, 3 different companies actually starting that work now, removing the guardrails where they're down with the guardrails, removing the cable barriers. But what we will do, we will start with the what we call the black spot areas, the areas that are more prone to accidents. So we start with that, and it will continue until all the areas on the highway has that protection, but not with guardrails, not with the cable barriers anymore, but with guardrails.
Okay.
Minister, 2 questions. The San Fernando to Point Fortin Highway, is it 100% complete now? And if you can update us on that Mosquito Creek part that was problematic. That's my first question. And the second question, what is the status? Because I'm representative on this program, together with Wendell, of the eastern section of the country, which has the commute along the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway. If you could give us an update on what the status of the flyovers intended for McCoy and Golden Grove, etc.
Okay, so the San Fernando to Point Fortin Highway, as you know, before that would have taken you 2 hours, easy, sometimes more than that, to get from San Fernando to Point Fortin. 1, because of the traffic, and 2, because of the old road would have had serious deterioration, and it was a lot of stop and go, things like that. Now you could commute from San Fernando to Point Fortin in 20 minutes. As a matter of fact, yesterday I got a compliment from Mr. Ian Allen, who went on the road for the first time, and he couldn't believe in 20 minutes he was from San Fernando to Point Fortin, and 20 minutes to return. I was like, call and give a big compliment for that.
You must want the PBR pass.
No, we don't need pass to go to Chabonas and South. So, and it was a genuine comment, I must say.
Okay.
The thing about it is, there are 2 parts. We just a week ago, if you remember, well, if you saw it, we opened another interchange on that highway, another major interchange on that highway. So what we have now is 2 areas where we have some pipeline crossing, the big gas line. So we are finalizing with BP, National Energy, and the companies that own the pipeline for the solution. You can't they wouldn't allow you to just go and do work over the pipeline, because if something happens to the pipeline, who's the liability and things like that. And those are major pipelines that could disrupt the entire energy sector in Trinidad. We are at the point of closing a solution with them. And once we cross those 2 pipelines, then from San Fernando to Point Fortin will be 100% completed. Those 2 diversions take you about 2 to 3 minutes. It's 1 diversion actually. That takes you about maybe a minute or 2. extra because what we do, we go back on the old road for a part which we upgraded, and then you come back onto the highway. The other, it's two pipelines you have to cross, but one of the pipelines is what is joining Faizabad. So that is not really on the route from San Fernando to Point Fortin. But once that one is completed, then people from Faizabad can utilize the highway all the way to Point Fortin, or if you want to come back to Port of Spain, you can even come through there, jump on that highway, and come all the way to San Fernando. And then you're going to Port of Spain. But that is not on the route to San Fernando to Point Fortin. That is from Faizabad, which will be completed now that we have the approvals from BP and so. So the highway is at a point where, and a highway like that is constant work. Because remember, you still have the other phase, which was taken out of this phase because the concentration was San Fernando to Point Fortin. So you will always have work ongoing on a project like that. But in terms of commuting from San Fernando to Point Fortin, it takes you about 20 minutes now. It's easier to get from San Fernando to Point Fortin than Chaguanas to San Fernando, or even by Grand Bazaar to Chaguanas. That is how the difference of that highway makes.
Yeah. And what about the East-West corridor? Because I know time is running out on us with regard to the flyovers.
Right. So, we have the East-West corridor transformation plan, which is to remove all the lights from Diego Martin all the way to Sandy Grande. But that is being done on a phase basis. We completed the Diego Martin interchange recently, the Europe interchange. So the Macoya interchange, the designs have been completed. The next one is the Macoya interchange. Once you do the Macoya interchange, that will remove all the lights up to Twin City. And once you do the interchange after that, that will have the lights all the way to Piapo removed. So the next phase is the Macoya interchange. Again, that all the designs, everything would have been completed. That's ready to go out for tender. So I'm just now basically waiting for the cabinet approval to see we go out for tender for that. All plans have been in place. So that's all the requirements are being fulfilled.
We need you for an entire day, We normally get the Prime Minister for an entire day, We need you for an entire day. 20, half an hour is not enough for you because you cover so many different issues.
Again, I am willing to spend whatever time you all have because we do cover a lot of areas and we do have a fairly good story, in my opinion, to tell because we do touch on everything. Sometimes timing is off because everything has to do with funding. Everything has to do with the budget that we have. And as much as we would like to do a lot more, we are always constrained based on, the requirements that is needed for projects like basically what we do. We could talk a whole day about how much road we're paving every day and night. If you go on our site, you'll see the amount of work is being done around the country. We could talk about the airport and the great things they're doing there. We could talk about the port. We could talk about Lake Asphalt. We could talk about National Quarry, Carry Dock, and all these topics. Yep.
We really need to. Yeah, we'll plan it out, Minister.
No problem. Okay, so you
thank
have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the Diwali season.
Yes, and once again, happy Diwali to you and your family.
Happy Diwali to you.
Same to you and happy Diwali to the entire country.
All right. Take care. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, well, this is where we wrap up the Power Breakfast Show this morning. So, interesting conversation with the Minister of Works and Transport. I'm so glad to hear about that Citygate development because that's something we've raised on this program.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Advocated for years.
Yes.
Be upgraded. So anyway, of course, Diwali to all the Hindus across Trinidad and Tobago tomorrow. Enjoy, and of course, enjoy the holiday tomorrow. And next time we'll see you is on Friday. Just reminding you, of course, the theater will be on next week, Saturday and Sunday. It's the close of the theater season for 2024. Yes, I know. And we're ending with the #1 play of 2024, Love is a Walk, which I know people have seen multiple times. And so we are on. That's Laughter from beginning to end, literally. So it's on next week, Saturday at 8:30, next week, Sunday at 6:30. 2 shows only, as we bring the theater season for 2024 to an end. Tickets will be on sale from Friday onwards at our usual outlets, but you know I'm going to keep you posted. Have a fantastic day. Whatever you do, enjoy the holiday tomorrow. Be safe out there, and remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
All right, happy Diwali to the Hindu community and by extension the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. And happy Diwali to you guys as well. All right.